Ray Binkowski sitting in FitWorkz hybrid training gym with one of our Eat by Color elite clients, Deanna Terry. If you've been following any of our stuff on the internet for the last couple weeks, you've seen some of Deanna's pictures. Let's start with, who are you? All right, so you made a comment. What did somebody comment on in the gym here at FitWorkz to you recently this week?
How could I be
one of your kids? What did they say?
They said, how could I be a mom of a middle schooler? So that was pretty cool.
So we have a mom of middle school age kids. So how old are you? Are you willing to share that?
I'm 38 years old. Yep, I'll share that.
So 38-year-old, mom of 3, right?
Yep.
You work, your husband works. So it's not like you sit around and do nothing except eat right and exercise. You actually got kind of a crazy, hectic schedule.
Yes, definitely.
What about, if you've seen the pictures, you know Deanna's done a bodybuilding, or specifically Bikini Contest. But what about your past? What were you doing exercise-wise before Eat by Color and before FitWorkz?
Well, I've always been active. I have like 13 years of dance experience. I was pretty thin up until, I'd say, high school, and then I started gaining weight. And then right when I graduated, I think it was like a size 14, girls 14, and I said I was done. So I lost weight, and that's when I met my husband, and shortly we got married, and I had my first kid. And then I started working out, I'd say, after I had my second daughter. So I've been working out for at least 10 years straight, but I've mostly been working from home for different reasons, schedule, money, etc. And I've been doing basically the Beachbody programs, if I'm allowed to say that. Sorry.
Sure, yeah, you can say that.
So I've done just about every Beachbody program there was. I've done, I'm trying to think what I started with, P90X, I believe, did P90X 2, 3, I've done Insanity, I've done Asylum, I've done...
So a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to talk about that is we have a mom of 3 who's approaching 40. You were already active. For 10 years, you were doing a lot of the home training videos, P90X, Insanity, Beachbody, everything that falls into that. And when you came in and talked to us about doing training right around 5 months ago, you weren't fat, right?
No, I was thin but not toned.
Okay.
I still been wearing bikinis, but just not as comfortable or looking as good as I wanted to in a bikini.
So training with us, what was different?
Right away when I started using the heavier weights, I noticed a huge difference in my arms, and my back.
Define what was different? So you saw a difference in your arms and back. How did it look different?
They were sculpted and toned and muscular. They were defined.
Okay.
Instead of me just being thin, and kind of, I guess, flabby. Even though I was thin, I was a good size. I've been probably about the same size since about 5 years, I would say.
Okay.
About the same size.
More toned. And how do your jeans fit?
But now, then I started doing the heavy weights, and I started getting more toned and defined, and I've only lost like 13-ish pounds since December 31st. That's the first day I signed up. But I've lost about 4 inches. My jeans had to be taken in about 4 inches. So,
and we're going to post a link to a picture of Deanna with her jeans. The 4-inch change, and they're skinny jeans too, right?
Yeah.
The 4-inch change on the skinny jeans is ridiculous. And once again, the scale really hasn't changed much. But when you see the pictures of Deanna in the jeans, it's holy cow, what a difference. And that's actually something we see a lot of individuals that put forth the effort to train at home, and they make progress. Maybe they keep the weight down, they keep the weight a little bit off, but they never get that toned, sculpted, lean appearance until we bring them into a club environment. We introduce heavier weight training. And by the way, if you're female and you're watching this, think about what Deanna just said. Her arms and her back weren't as flabby, to use your words, when she started lifting heavy weights. So you didn't end up big and bulky.
Right, yeah, I know. My sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, they can't believe I lift as much as I do. And I said, well, really, you should be doing that because they work out every day. They do a little cardio and stuff, but it's kind of the same.
So they're kind of expecting you to walk around like the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
Turn green and grunt and be absolutely massive, and it's not happened.
Right. Because women just aren't built that way. So I think that's the concept that they need to really let sink in. And like when I went on vacation, we were at the hotel, nobody was lifting weights. I was the only female. Everybody else was on the workout, they're running in the treadmill machines and elliptical, and I want to tell them, get off and come over here with me and lift weights, because you're going to see that huge difference.
And not only did you not have to share, wait your turn, and get an opportunity to use the weights, you're the only one using them. Plus, they all were probably looking at you like, I want to look like her, while they're doing something you're not doing, which I've always found very ironic. So like, if you want to look like this, train like this person. And by the way, in the link I'm going to post later, it's going to have a snapshot of one of Deanna's training programs. It's going to have a snapshot of what she was eating, which was a lot more than most would think. In terms of food, what was that like? Initially, we started doing Eat by Color back in first week of January.
I must have doubled the amount of food that I was eating.
Say that again.
I think you doubled the amount of food that I was eating. It was incredible. Like, at first I even told you, like, I cannot eat this much, especially at breakfast time. It took a long time. Well, it took at least a week to try to actually finish my breakfast.
Get used to that.
Yeah. And still now, it's really like a weird concept of you're eating like these 5 full meals basically a day, and I'm way less and look better and feel better than I have before.
So if you're watching this live or you're watching it later on YouTube, pay attention to what Deanna just said. This is secondary to the heavy weightlifting for women. This is point number 2 that represents, like, we put secret in the title. If there's a secret, it's lift heavy things, eat more food, look great in a bathing suit. She about doubled the amount of food that she was eating. And the feedback that I got, and we get this all the time, especially from women, is there's no way I can eat this much food. There's no way I can eat this much food and lose weight.
Right.
And lo and behold, you did, and you are.
I did it, yeah. And it's weird because you watch these testimonials and, you don't know the person, and you're like, yeah, that's not going to work for me, this and that. And so when we decided, I just decided to try it for once so I could see if it worked for me. And here it is. It worked for me. And like I said, I've had a lot of really good comments on Facebook and from my posts. And I actually have people now that are buying your book and getting their own results. And
this is the book. So if we look at when you came in, and Deanna wanted to do a bikini contest. So she was looking for, all right, what approach could I take to be comfortable and confident and maybe competitive in a bathing suit on stage? And comparing, so if that was our problem, the solution ended up being, at least initially, doubling the amount of food you're eating, having you lift heavier weights that you probably wouldn't have enough at home to do, not that you weren't working out. Right. And then how do you feel about where you are today versus where you were in December?
I feel awesome as far as if you see my pictures. Like I said, I was wearing a bikini before and felt, pretty good in it or whatever, but I would always look at other people and say, hey, I want to look better in the bikini. I want to look like that or whatever. And so now I feel like I'm that person that I wanted to look like. There's still some improvements, but that Ray's going to help me with. Mostly on my lower half, but but I would say from the waist up, I feel great. I love my back. The picture of my back, which she could post the day of the contest, I was like just awesome. Very impressed, with my back, and you'll be able to see the difference too, as far as what lifting weights can make you look like, as opposed to just doing cardio or light weights at home. And
some of the feedback, or at least your initial comment right there, which is I've now the person that I wanted to be, or I'm the person that I'd look at and say I wanted to be. Not that you don't have some areas to improve, and we all do, but you've kind of made that happen. And I can say feedback around the club, because we hear it from other members, we hear it from other people, have commented on how great Deanna looks. But the other thing, and this is huge, is some of the people have said her confidence is incredible now. And that's, I mean, and how do you define that? And, you know, confidence isn't something that you can say, well, my confidence looks better in a bathing suit. That means that you're, you know, how you present yourself, how you come across, that's huge. I mean, that's as good, if not better, than I look better in a bathing suit.
Yeah, I've always actually been very self-conscious, and one of the judges' comments was like, great self-confidence. I was like, wow, okay, you think so?
And that's a priceless change.
Yeah, so even though I might have placed what I wanted to with the competition, that comment itself and me getting out on stage during my T-Walk, like, that can't be replaced. That, to me, really was my favorite moment, was the T-Walk and just how good I felt, regardless of me comparing myself to other people up there. So
awesome. Well, I think that's all for today. This video, as all of our videos, are brought to you by Eat by Color. You can find out more at eatbycolor.com. Find us on social media, hashtag #EatByColor, at eatbycolor. We'd love to hear from you, your comments, your feedback. Our tomorrow's video, we would love to answer your questions in the form of a video sometime in the near future. Watch right below this video if you're checking us out on Facebook, because sometime probably in the next hour, there's going to be an article that's going to show some of Deanna's pictures, including the jean picture and what it looks like when 4 inches are taken out of a pair of jeans. There's going to be a snapshot of one of her workouts and one of her Eat by Color nutrition programs. Thanks for watching.
bye.